what was that great story you told us on the phone about dodging the draft?
That's kind of a long. I didn't want to go, you know.
Who did, you know?
I mean, go there and shoot people I don't even know. You know? Well, we had just gotten our first, not even a record deal. It was like just a small record company there in town. And do you remember when they drew the lots on TV, the ping pong balls, kind of like a lottery thing? The first one was December '47. I went, God. And then the very next day, the paper came, greetings. And I thought, God, I can't do this. And the draft was real heavy then. And my brother had been drafted a year before that, and he went up there with a pair of lace panties on, and he couldn't seem to pull it off. You know, the guy said, "We know you're not a fag, man. You know, get in line." And
there's an album cover for you, isn't it?
And so, hopefully, none of you will never have to go through this, but when you go to the induction center, you go through all these things where they check you all over, your eyes and everything from your, well,
yes,
everything.
Yes, everything, yes.
And after they stamp you all right, you get to this last room, and you're all lined up, and you have to raise your right hand and take the oath. And then you get in the bus, and you're gone, man, to boot camp. And so he got to that part, and he just put his hands in his pockets and wouldn't raise his hand. He says, "I am not going, you dig?" And they yelled and screamed at him, and they said, "You know, we'll see you in Leavenworth. You'll be there for the rest of your natural life." And he says, "I'm sorry, be that as may, I'm not going." And so they said, "Well, go home, and we'll come pick you up with the sheriffs or the MPs or whatever." And they lost his card. It got like lost on the floor, and I've never heard from him again. Is that luck or what? But me, on the other hand, my brother says, "Why don't you shoot a bullet through your foot?" And this is a long time ago. We were just at the foothills of Fool's Hill, and he said, "Carve a little piece in the head of the bullet, you know, so it'll leave a little piece in there, because if you have some metal in your body, they won't take you," or something to that effect. So we threw a foot shooting party. I don't believe I'm telling this, really. And we had a bunch of girls over there at the house, right? And we had a big box of sawdust. And I had on these moccasins, and I painted a target on my foot. Are we crazy enough for you? And because I didn't want to hurt myself, so the long bones in your foot come to like a V. And I wanted to hit right in there, so to crack two of them, but not really upset anything permanently. And so the girls are all crying, and it comes foot shooting time. You know, we're drinking all this whiskey and everything, and I go out there, and I sit down, and I got this Saturday night special, and the gun was just, you could shake it, and it would just rattle. I mean, it's a wonder I didn't hit myself in the head. And I took aim, and I thought, what am I doing? I'm getting ready to shoot myself here. And so I went back in, and I said, "Look, I got to have a couple more drinks before I do this." And so I had a couple more and a couple more, and he says, "Well, you're just chicken." He was sloshed by now, right? And he says, "I invited these nice ladies over here to see a foot shooting. You're going to let them down. You're really disappointing, you know." And a few other things he said about other things, and you know how big brothers they can push the right buttons on you. And I said, "Give me that gun." And I went out there and sat down. Bam! Let me tell you how it hurt. And so he had the car running, and he put me in the car, and we went down to the hospital, right? And I go in there, and he says, "Oh, you shot yourself." I said, "Yeah, I was cleaning my gun, getting ready to go in the service, just getting my gun collection in order after." And we forgot to take the moccasin off, right? So it's sitting there with a target on it. They might. And by now, where the bullet had gone in, the part of the moccasin had gone into the wound, right, and dried. And the doc says, "Oh, a bullet wound." He snatches my shoe off, and he takes this tube of stuff that looked like Blistex, and he sticks it in the hole, squirt, wraps a Band-Aid around it. "You're out of here." I said, "Man, I've mortally wounded myself here." So we went back home, and we put a bandage on it. I mean, got the crutches, went to the induction center, and they said, "You're out of here."
Yeah.
I deserve to be out of there.
Yeah, really.
Remarkable. Remarkable.